Hello and welcome back to this test review. Got a new microphone set up. Hopefully you can hear me. Okay, create a copy of angle ABC. Step 1. Make a ray. Need something to copy it onto. Let's make a ray. Step 2. Measure out from vertex. So we're just marking out two distances, and we're going to mark those same two distances. One of them doesn't exist yet, but we're going to find it, because then 3, measure across angle and mark that. Okay, you need this distance, so I'm smallerifying the compass. I'm shrinking that distance to be the correct distance across that angle, and then I'm making this mark. Okay, it's a little off, but it's close enough. And then I'm taking that measurement over here and marking it thusly. And you can kind of see this ray goes through that, and this ray is going to go through that. But I need a straight edge. And did we copy it? There and there. So yay. Success. So I guess step 4 was take measure to new angle, mark, and make ray. Bisect the angles. Okay. This is the easiest one for me. If it's an acute angle, you set this to any distance, you reach out and make 2 marks, there and there, then you reach out back to the middle. How do you know you're supposed to be reaching to the middle? Because a bisect cuts it in half in the middle. X marks the spot. If it's an obtuse angle, you still, same 2 steps, you reach out along the rays, but now, plot twist, the compass will not be open up big enough to really make a good mark. So you gotta open it a little bit more, tug it open. Now, pin work marked out to. Alright, so the steps are mark distance out on both rays, reach back to middle from both marks. Parallelogram. So we want this, we're measuring again, so we're going to set, and bring it over, mark all those points that could work, then measure this guy, bring the pin up and mark all the ones that could work. That doesn't seem right. What's wrong? bisector. This is the little thumbnail for our Schoology class. Although the thumbnail has full circles, you don't need the full circle. You just need to set this. You set your compass to more than halfway. That's all. Just go more than halfway, and then you make marks above, marks below. Some people just do it in one arc, and go to the other corner, pin it, mark above, mark below, and connect the X's. Perpendicular bisector. By the way, you need these marks to get full credit on the test. Need all these marks. Create a regular hexagon. Right. Well, technically we're supposed to start with a point. Now when you put the pin in the paper, it makes a point, but hexagon's special because all of its sides are the same as its radius, which the radius is what this is set to right now. You can also go all the way around, marking them off, but this using a diameter to kind of cheat is a little bit faster. You've got to remember that these are your 6 points. 2 of them are on the ends of those lines. Some people say it's not as pretty because you're going to have this diameter across the middle, and I agree, but it is faster. However, if you want to take the time to make a really excellent regular polygon with no diameter, you do that. It will be great. It will be awesome. By the way, if you're just given a side and someone says make that into a regular hexagon, you measure it and then you find the center of the circle by making an equilateral triangle, and then we already have the right distance because the side is the radius. What we just did now is we found the center. Now we have to march around because I can't make there is a diameter we could use, but I don't know how to find it. The reason why the diameter works in the other one is you choose the diameter and then make the hexagon around that. Here we were given the side, so we're forced to put it right here, which ta-da! Okay, this is the hardest one based on first period's experiences. So there's a lot of ways to make a parallel line through there. It has to be constructed. So a couple of students just lined it up really nice. And they basically made a parallel line, but it wasn't constructed. And that is what we're doing here. We're locking it in. We're locking our constructions in. So the way we do this, we're creating a line parallel to segment AB, or line AB, that passes through point R. We're basically just going to put a line across R and the line. It can be any line we want. We're going to extend it. And now this angle we're going to copy here. And then we'll know that has to be parallel. So it's just like copying an angle. So sometimes I don't like this construction because I'm like, it's just copying an angle. Yes, but usually it's copying an angle upside down, which is at least challenging, different challenge, let's say. So if we think back to our copy and angle steps, it was measure out on the angle and then measure out on the future angle. measure across on the old angle. This is upside down, so let me put the pin up here. Set it to, oh look, I'm already the right size. There we go. Make that measurement mark. Adjust if necessary. Alright. Upside down angle copy. Parallel line. Good enough. Create a rhombus using instructions. Okay, rhombus was one of our first ones. But you don't get any ingredients, so you have to make your own ingredients. You say, that's the side of your rhombus, and then the next thing you pick is the angle of your rhombus. And then you make a ray that goes out really far. But whatever you chose to be the side of your rhombus, you measure that distance. And you mark it off on the ray. And then you come to the other end of the line, mark out in space, searching for that fourth corner. Come to the other mark up the side, reach out in space. That's the only point that's the same distance from both ends of these arms, and these are the same distance. Double marks, you know what I'm talking about? So those are the same, we know, because we measured the first side that we chose, and then we marked it off on the ray. So we know those are the same, and then we reached there, so these are all the same distance, but only one is also the same distance from here, and that's X marks the spot. Never get tired of saying that, because it makes you think of pirates and treasure. Now why does that look so bad? Well, basically, my dots are big. If I had been more precise exactly where my pencil was going, they would look better. That's pretty good. I'll take it. What's important, so what you want is this, on the test, is obviously you choose whatever length it is. You want to show a mark here along a ray, and then these two marks, and then connect, and that's A plus right there. Okay, and then everybody's favorite equilateral triangle. Measure the distance. Don't do that. This is the first time I've done constructions on a single piece of paper. Makes the pin slip out. Okay. I would say I'm doing pretty good. You gotta grab the end of your compass. I know on the very first day of doing compasses we practiced this skill, but because I am trying to lean it over so you can see what I'm doing, I actually ended up grabbing the end of this. So working under a camera has totally changed my compass practice. See, even old guys can still change. You know how they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks? That's true for dogs, but it's not true for humans. Even old people can learn stuff. Alright. Tomorrow, part 2.